Okay.
Welcome to the Sisters of Stardust, our D&D campaign that we do every Tuesday on TikTok Live. I'm Zach, the Dungeon Master, and with me as always is my awesome sister, Amanda. There was something else I was going to say. That's okay. And we are going to be playing some D&D. For this campaign, it has a single player. It's called the Sisters of Stardust. It's got a single player. That's Amanda, and I run the sidekick rules, so she can fight with all of her NPCs that are with her or her friends. She gets to run them during combat, so that's fun. But yeah, we'll go ahead. Do you want to introduce your character, Amanda?
Sure. I am Deidra Shimmerstone. I am a storm sorcerer with the halfling mark of healing.
Boom, boom. That is right.
Boom, boom.
And last time, Deidra had just gotten back from a fishing trip where she fought an ogre who was eating people. And her mom actually told her that she wanted to ward the basement that has a magical dark stone that, like, changes people, infects them magically. So basically, she was like, I want you to go meet up with this guy who can ward this and put all these magical spells on it, and I want you to go to this other guy who can pay for it. So she gave her 2 letters, and she was off. So she went to a place called Stormhome, which is a port city that had a lot of traffic, basically. And so what ends up happening is she went to the first place and met a man named Gimmel Clerk. And Gimmel Clerk was the man who was he was basically the head of this library. It was a monastery library. It's like religious, you know. And then basically she asked him gave him a letter, and he was surprised to find out that Rhea, Deidre's mother, was still alive. So he was like, oh my goodness, okay, that's crazy, haven't heard from her in a long time. And basically he was like, well, go get the payment and come back. And so the next place she had to go was to a man named Vash Lorand, and she didn't know where Vash Lorand was, but Gimmel did. He pointed her to the what's that place called? The port, and said it was a particular ship that had red sails. So, well, they were red, but they turned purple when you get close. I might be mixing that up. They're purple, but they turn red when you get close. It doesn't matter. They were cool sails. So she ended up going to the port and talking to a couple of deckhands, and then eventually being able to talk to Vash. After talking to Vash was like really freaked out when he saw her, which led Amanda to ask me, like, out of game, hey, is this my dad? Because she doesn't know who her father is in the game. So they started talking more, and Jeanette, who is their mind reader in their group of NPCs, was actually saying, hey, he doesn't know if he's your dad, but he's scared that he is, type of thing. They ended up talking and getting the letter, or he ended up reading the letter, and he's like, I should have known she would want so much money from me. And the amount of gold was 25,000 gold, so that is a lot of gold to ask for someone. So he ended up taking all of the sisters to the middle of the ocean to this basically hole in the middle of the ocean that had tons of gold in it. While they were in this hole scavenging for gold, they found a skeleton man who kept claiming that he was a high-ranking member at the academy, and everybody got annoyed by that. But he did show that he can turn thread into gold with a little coin purse that he has, although that's pretty much all he had was bones, a coin purse, and he was stuck in this hole. But they ended up gathering a bunch of gold, and this skeleton man, who actually is nameless, he does not remember his name, and pulled him back out. And once they were on the surface, they were walking back to the monastery to get Gimel and what are those things called? One eye. Oh no. Giant with one eye. A cyclops, yes. A cyclops started lobbing rocks at them, so they took a long way around this mountain to get to the monastery, and there was still a cyclops there. But they managed to sneak past him because he's very bad at seeing because he only has one eye. After that, they got into the monastery after the front door was locked because everybody was freaking out in there, but they ended up getting into the monastery, and then Gimel actually set up activated the teleportation circle in their courtyard, and they managed to hide for a minute straight from this cyclops because it has terrible passive perception, and they got away with just teleporting away from this what's it called cyclops. And so now they have Gimel working on in the basement to ward this room, and they have this skeleton man staying with them who says he's going to try and sculpt himself a normal body that isn't just bones. But yeah, we can pick up there. I'm going to say before we start, you have, I want to say 3 weeks of downtime. No, 4 weeks of downtime. So if there's anything you or the ladies wanted to work on during that time, feel free to tell me.
What do I want to do?
Cool.
I think I'm gonna just like work with Arya.
Just get some extra gold and stuff?
Yeah, I guess.
I got you. Ooh, let me look at something. Can I have you? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Choo-choo-choo. Roll me a d10.
D10.
I'm just doing this to determine how much gold you made over this little while.
I rolled a 5.
A 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you made 2 copper per day. So for a month, that's going to be boom, boom, boom. Why can't I think? $14 times 4. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's going to be 56 gold. Or 56 copper.
That's not very much.
I mean, it's equivalent to 4 gold. Or 5 gold, pardon me. Which would be like normal living wages in this game, you know? Like a normal salary.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you got however many I just said, 56 gold or 56 copper. Ooh. Is there anything that you think the other ladies might have been working on? Oh. Sorry, I'm just blindsiding you with questions.
What's deep speech?
Deep speech is like, I want to say it's, how do I say this right? It's like, oh goodness. So there's undercommon and there's deep speech, so it's just like really deep under the earth. This is like so far to the point it's about to like go to like another dimension now. Does that make sense? So there's like primordial and like Terran, so that takes you to the elemental plane. This one will take you. This is like a precursor to before you get there. So it's like just the deepest place you can get before hitting another plane inside the earth. They speak deep speech there. Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
odd.
Who knows deep speech?
Elaine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Boop, boop, boop.
I don't know. We'll just say that they've been like training and.
Okay, so I'll just say that Telane's been working with your mom and like she's just trying to like so they don't really like learn in the way that like it's like a knowledge based thing. It's more like getting comfortable with yourself and allowing yourself to be you and use your powers in like a freeing way. So she's just been like trying to help Tulane get comfortable with her powers more so and kind of be safe with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That.
What's her I'm going to say that Jeanette has been actually not really interacting with the Darkstone, but she's been like observing Gimel taking care of all of the stuff that's going around the Darkstone, and she just wants to have like a deep understanding of it because she takes, for whatever reason, she takes personal responsibility of protecting people from this stone. I think she's just been doing it so long that it's like a part of her, but she feels like it's safest here. Next, obviously, Arya was working with you.
Yeah.
And then we have the Skeleton Man, who has been... He is still a Skeleton Man. He hasn't grown his flesh back yet. But he is working on trying to grow his skin back. And while he's actually been working to grow his skin back, he's been talking to your mom and aunt quite a bit. While he's been talking to them, he actually, he's... Once they got past the annoying part of him saying that he was very renowned at the academy, right? Rhea particularly liked a couple of things he started saying where he talked about having 3 very special spell books in his study, which he had like warded and locked and hid inside this academy. So he basically has been boasting about these crazy magical books that he can use and do crazy things with. And Rhea, it caught her eye, or caught her ear. She's very interested in these books, and she wants to trade them not only for magical knowledge, but in order to kind of protect you guys. So she has brought up the idea with you, Deidra, that she would be interested in you going and fetching those books while he's working on his stuff here to grow his skin back, because it's just weird him walking around like that. And she also wants to strike a deal with a gnome known as the Scribe. He literally just goes by a title, the Scribe. She does know his name is actually Lennon, but she says he likes being called the Scribe. But there are 3 very powerful magical tomes that she wants you to go and find.
Okay. I know going and finding magical items means I'm going to level up, so heck yeah.
But yes, she also told you that if you go and meet with this Scribe character, he has a magical book where you can write your name into it, and if you die, you basically get instead of dying, you just get teleported to him. So she brought up the idea that if you go and tell him that you are going to fetch one of these books for him, because he's a scribe, he loves books, that he would etch his name inside his personal scribe book that could save you from basically dying if that ever happens.
Okay.
But she wants you to use... So let me give you some information on these books real quick. So what did we... You gave the skeleton guy a name, but I forgot what it was.
I can't remember what it was either.
I'll have to... But we'll figure it out. But the skeleton man tells you of 3 books. One of them is constantly smelling like smoke and ash and has electricity sparking off of it constantly. So you'll be able to like spot that book if you run into it very easily. Another one is wreathed in purple fire that doesn't hurt you or anything, but it also has a, I want to say a zombie claw on the top, but basically it's a skeletal, like an undead hand is holding it shut. And then the next book he actually calls it the Atlas, and that's the one he wants the most because it'll help him travel the world. So basically, that book has a map on the front. It's all blue, the cover, and it has a couple of medallions as dividers in the book to hold like a place, or as like bookmarks, for lack of a better term. So basically, he's sending you to get 3 of these books. One of these books is going to be traded to the Scribe. I think the one he wants to give to the Scribe is... Let me find it. The one that has a bunch of lightning and smoke coming off of it. He says it's a powerful book. All 3 of them are very powerful, but this one probably is the least powerful compared to the 3. But you could literally give whatever book you want to him. It'll be your choice, but that's the one he wants you to keep, or wants to give to the Scribe.
The purple one?
No, the one that has smoke and sparks coming off of it. So the first book I told you.
Okay.
He wants that one given first. He wants to keep the other 2. He wants to keep the Atlas for himself, and he wants to give you guys the one that has the demon hand on it. Demon hand, the skeleton hand.
Okay.
He does say if you go to the academy, his office has been warded and locked and is trapped. But he has a safe word that you guys can use. What is the safe word here? The safe word is treaties. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm like trying to scroll close to this stuff. I come up with things beforehand. Treaties Igwilly.
Treaties Igwilly?
That is the word that you have to say to get into his office that has been like basically locked off.
Okay.
He says also, if you're in the office, don't touch any treasure chests. They are not treasure chests. And his understudy, or his acolyte, that's not the right word. His apprentice. His apprentice was inside the office when he was taken and locked it. He thought he would be back, but it's been thousands of years, so his apprentice is either dead in there or has found some way to survive, so don't be surprised either way.
Okay.
But yes, his what's it called, study is in the Red Mountain colleges, and it is inside the College of Lore. And it is in the basement. And it is hidden under... oh, goodness. It's hidden under a tablet with an alchemical symbol on it. So basically, he's like, it's in the basement, and there's an alchemical symbol. Go and say, Thesis Ilwig... How do you say that?
Treaties
Igwilly.
Treaties Igwilly.
Treaties Igwilly to it. That'll open up. You'll go down a long stairway, and then you'll make it to his actual office.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll have to... There are teleportation circles in at that college as well. Your mom knows that. So if you just want to get teleported to the college, you can. If you want to travel, you can as well.
Okay, let's just teleport there.
Okay. So your mom sets up the teleportation circle and teleports you to the Red Mountain College. So when you get here, it's actually very lively. Actually, who are you taking with you? Wait, what's up?
Can you hear me?
No, I couldn't for a sec. It was weird.
Mom called me, so I think I messed it up.
Oh, okay. Cool. Who are you taking with you? Sorry.
I was gonna take Talene and Jeanette.
Tulane and Jeanette. I got you. So Tulane and Jeanette are going on this adventure with you. They teleport with you. When you get here, it's a super lively place. It really is like set up like a nice college area. Except for this place is built inside the mountain. So you don't like see the sun or anything around you, but you are like in a like lit, nice area that actually has like some grass and things around you. There are people there's a lot of performers here, a lot of people telling stories. It's a very lively place. But yeah, there are let me see. There are 8. There are 8 different buildings there, and yeah.
Okay. So we're trying to find the College of Lore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's head there.
So looking at the buildings, they aren't like labeled or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there is like a central building that has like the biggest. I want to say it's the biggest building there, most elegant looking building there, but not that all the other buildings aren't like put together well and like taken care of. But this one's basically it has the most. It's going to have the most classes in it. It's kind of the main building, I would say.
Okay. I was just gonna ask like one of the students, be like, "Hey, can you point me in the direction of the College of Lore?"
Got you. So there's one student there. He's like, "Huh? The College of Lore?" And you can tell he's a little dazed for some reason. He's like, let me see if he knows where the College of Lore is. He's like, yeah, College of Lore. Okay, big building. You see it? You go straight on the other side. It's the second biggest building here. So a big building, a littler building right across from it. He's like, I've never seen you here before. And he's like an elf. He's like,
It's a big college.
he's like, yeah, but like I've been around,
And
He's like, I don't know. And he like walks. You can tell he was like, huh. He didn't really know what he was going to say after that, so he ran away. But yeah. On the other side of this giant building, there is a building that is slightly smaller than it.
okay. So we head there.
All right. So when you get to this building with the College of Lore, it actually, when you walk inside, it already is like built like a library. Lots of libraries this time around. But there are lecture rooms all over the place. So in the main area, there are 3. There are stairs on the right and left of the. So if you go straight across the main room, there's a staircase on the right that goes up, and the staircase on the left that goes down.
Okay. So we'll just start heading down.
Okay, so you start heading down, and after a while, it actually does turn into there's another couple of lecture rooms, but it gets older and older as you go down. And the further you go down, the more it starts to mix with a sewer system. So I'll say there's 3 levels that go down, and then once you get to the bottom, there's water that you can hear moving in the distance. And there are different what's the word? There are different corridors, but they obviously would take you outside of this particular building. So you can probably deduce that these buildings are connected by this system as well.
Okay. So, I say we just start looking around for this chemical thing.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an investigation check. Or perception. Whatever one you want to. try and do.
They both had 0, so. I rolled a 17.
17. Okay, you do see a wall that has actually like etchings on it. But outside that wall, you see these winged creatures. I want to say, gracious. Yeah. So you see these winged creatures. It's like, how would I explain this creature? It's like if a dragon and a chicken had a hybrid. That's how it looks. It's like a little.
Like a dragon and a chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a small creature, like, so I would say it's still like fairly close to your size. But yeah, it's a dragon, and there's 5 of these dragon chicken looking things, and they're like bobbing their heads and like kind of growling at themselves.
Okay, so we'll just go over to them.
Okay, so when you do get close, they are like pretty, like, you know, when there's a territorial rooster, they have that vibe. So one of them's like,
Can I try saying Tree Egg Willy to them?
oh, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
So when you say that around them, the wall behind them actually does start to glow, and 2 of them like freak out, and the one who's ahead, like acting all like trying to be all buff, is starting to like make its feathers like poke up more. So basically, it's trying to just like intimidate you, but it's like a little chicken.
Okay.
And then the other, yeah, the door opens on the other side, but the other chickens are like kind of, what's the word I want to say? They're angry at the fact that that thing opened, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Can I roll intimidation and see if I can just intimidate them to like go away?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll intimidation.
14 plus 6, so 20.
20, dang. Okay. I rolled pretty high too, though. Let's see. Okay, how are you intimidating them?
I'm just gonna keep walking towards them. Like I'm not afraid or anything.
So as you walk like closer to them, they're like looking you up and down but backing away. And then as you just like walk to the door and they like get out of the way. They're just like, what the? They're like, they're used to being more intimidating. Did one of you guys have like a herbalism kit?
I do.
Do you want to roll a? You can add your herbalism kit to a. It can either be a history or a nature roll.
Okay. Proficiency. Okay. 17. 19.
19. Okay. So you actually would know that these chicken things are called cockatrix. Cockatrix, like, they're not super dangerous, but they do have like a what's the thing called? I want to say venom, but that's not the right word. Basically, if you can get a cockatrix's beak, it can petrify things. So this is a very cockatrix are very sought after for alchemy, poisons, remedies for petrification, and there's actually a lot of different rituals and magical uses for these types of creatures. Also, if they pet you, you could get petrified. So be careful. But you've already, what's the word? intimidated them enough that they're not like you're not an initiative or anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But
Okay, so we're gonna just walk into that room that opened up.
okay. So it's a long stairway that you can go down for a while, and there's another door with that same alchemical symbol on it.
So can I just say the same thing?
Yeah.
Treaty Ignisi.
Thesis wait. I can't even say it right.
I know you said treaty.
Oh, treaty. Oh yeah, treaties, Igwillies. Right?
Treaties Igwillies.
Yeah. So you say that, and the door lights up, and unlatches. And as you walk in, it is a dark study. There are rows of books everywhere. I will say you immediately see the book that is sparking because it's sparking, and there's another book giving off the purple fire. But the other book is a little harder to locate because there are tons of books with all sorts of different colors on color. What's the word? Backings. A lot of them do seem to be fading though.
Okay. So we'll just start looking through all the books that
Okay.
look blue.
Okay, so give me an investigation for all three of you.
Hello. Well, I got a 19.
Okay.
Tulane. What do I add to it?
For investigation, it would be your intelligence.
Okay, so she got 16. Tulane got 16, and Jeanette got 17.
Okay. So you do spot a bookshelf that has three. Deidra, you spot this. It's got three blue-binded books on it. I'm assuming you grabbed the other books already.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane spots a. There's another bookcase that has. It has one blue book and a. What's it called? It's basically a jewelry, like a little jewelry case. And then Jeanette. Was Jeanette the 16?
Jeanette was the 17.
17? Okay. And Jeanette actually sees. So she just basically can sense magical things very well. And she finds a cauldron that is reeking of magic in there as well. While this is going on. Oh, goodness. Why do I suck at rolling? There we go. While this is going on, what's Tulane's AC for me?
Why are you gonna hurt my friend? It's 10.
10. Okay. Boom, boom. I'm checking things, I'm sorry. Goodness. Okay. Sorry. Boom, boom. It's 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I rolled an 11, so I was surprised. 6. So she is going to take 6 bludgeoning damage, and she's also grappled by a creature. There is a creature with long, skinny arms, and basically, it also has long, like, strong feet, but it has, like, claws at the end of its feet. But it does have human features where it has, like, I would say a human face, but it has, like, long hair that looks like it's from a troll doll on the back.
So I'm going to say to it quickly, just be like, you must be Harold's apprentice.
That was his name, huh? You must be Harold's
I think so.
apprentice. As you say that, he's like grappling to Lane, and then he just like pops into like darkness and is gone. And looking around, like he's just disappeared from where he was. But you do hear in the background, he's like, "Who is this Harold?" Oh, I can't do the same voice for every NPC. He's going to be, "Who is this Harold you speak of?"
Harold is a highly esteemed alchemist at this academy, but he was kicked out, and we found him. And he sent us to get these books.
You found him, did you?
Yeah.
He never thought to let me out.
We just got him back. He was in a hole in the middle of the sea. For centuries.
Trust me, I know. I've been here for centuries. You see the creature pop up out of a shadow from one of the bookcases, and he's like carrying a rat by its tail. He's like, "Do you know what it's like? Only being able to conjure food and eat rats."
No.
Harold is what he goes by now.
I just named him that. He couldn't remember what his name was.
Doesn't know his own name. How can you be esteemed and not know your own name?
You were his apprentice.
His name is Zariel. With a Z, not an
Harold
A.
now.
Zariel.
Do you want to come with us?
So yeah, we've been alone too long. Maybe. Roll persuasion.
Okay. Ooh, I have a +3 to persuade. I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. So he's like, he's like, maybe. He's like, actually, let me gather my things. And he goes, and you see him actually pick up a cauldron. He like loops it around his arm. And he
Is it the super magical cauldron?
Yeah, so what's her name? Jeanette, actually, that's what stood out to Jeanette the most, other than the books. You see him grab a couple of other books that you can tell are wizarding books. And he also grabs a couple of, it looks like shards, like just different colored shards, and puts them in there. And he's like, ugh. I need to do the right voice. He's like, just promise me you'll cook me a proper meal whenever we get to where we're going. And so now he just has like a cauldron on, and he's put like a, what are those like caps that are just cloth called? Like I always imagine artists wearing them, but they're like those medieval caps. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what they're called.
Yeah, he puts one of those caps on and has all his hair up in there, and he's holding a cauldron, and he basically has like a loincloth on other than that. It's like, None of my clothes would fit after the transformation. And he like keeps walking with you.
Well, we're going to be very conspicuous as we leave here. Do you know where the nearest transportation circle is?
Teleportation circle, I would say it was in the campus courtyard, but that was millennia ago. Okay, that's
Do
being
you
a
know how
little.
to use one?
He's like, yeah, I can do a teleportation circle, but I have to know where
Okay.
we're going, and I have to have been there before, and I
Well,
don't
I
think I've
have a
been.
seeing
Huh?
I have a seeing stone. I can show you where we're going.
Like, okay.
Will that work?
Let me check what he needs for a teleportation circle real quick. I want to make sure I have the right stuff. Watch, it's literally going to say like a cauldron. Let's see. Components. Rare chalk and ink infused with gemstones worth 50 gold. He's like, I need my... Well, I guess he just put gemstones in his pocket into his cauldron, so he's like... I have gemstones, but I need chalk that I can infuse it with, which I didn't have down here, or else I would have just left by myself.
Well, we can go to the teleportation circle that's out there that we came in with.
Oh, you want me to act? Okay, I can activate that teleportation circle.
Okay.
So, you guys start hiking up the stairs. Let me look at this real quick. NPC. Okay, so you get to the top of the stairs, and those cockatrix are still up there, and you see the man. His name is. Got like 8 things pulled up. I'm sorry. Boom. His name is May. He's like, I'm May. But when he gets to the top of the stairs, he sees um, the cockatrix, and he's like, you can tell he knows what it is immediately, and he just like swings on it. I'm just checking this real quick. But yeah, he cuts one of the cockatrix's head off with his sword, and all of the rest of the chicken go running, basically. He's like, nah. And puts the chicken head into his, he takes the whole thing and puts it into his cauldron and starts to walk.
Sweet.
He's like, he's like, those are very valuable. They are.
I know.
Magical properties. Delightful. So he's just walking, and as you guys start to walk, I'm assuming you're coming and going the same way you came in.
Yeah.
As you guys start to walk up these stairs, there are actually a couple of people who walk down and see this man with the cauldron and the books, and they're basically like, wait, so where did you find these? And they're talking about the books. Because one of them's sparking and one of them has fire coming off of it.
A protected space in the basement.
They're like, these people have been looking for these tomes for, like, these are legendary, like, these items are very sought after. And
Well, they're ours now.
And the main guy's like, no, they belong to the college. Silly.
No. They belong to the alchemist who owned them, who we are here on behalf of.
What alchemist?
Ariel?
They're like, two of them like immediately start laughing, And the other one in the middle who was like talking is like, "A man has been dead for generations."
Actually, he's immortal.
And the other guys start laughing even harder. He's like, "No, you don't understand. The college took care of them themselves. Like, this guy is famous for, like, doing all sorts of crazy experiments and then getting the college in trouble, so they told him to stop. He didn't stop, and then he basically they just killed him. They destroyed him all in one moment." And then May, like, chimes in. He's like, they're like, or what am I saying? May chimes in. He's like, "None of that is true. Zariel was doing great research, and then the head of the college got jealous and decided to try and kill him." And then they look at this creature, because he's not human or elf or whatever he was anymore. He looks weird, like some morphed being. He's basically like, he's like, "And what would you know about this, you poor thing?" But basically, they're like, they just cut to the chase, and they're like, "The books belong to the college. If you have a problem with that, you're going to have a problem all over campus."
Well, you couldn't find him, and I found him.
You can't find a
They're
dead man.
missing for centuries. I don't think they belong to you anymore. You didn't even know where they were.
They were in the college, though, yes?
No,
Then what were you doing down there?
they were in a cave underneath the college.
That's a part
Not
of the
in
college.
the college. No, it's not.
He's like,
It was
"That's
under the college. And you couldn't get to him. I got to him. So we're going to go. Because the real owner of these books is waiting for us back at our hometown. And he's not going to be very happy if he finds out that we don't come back with these books."
he's all, sorry, I'm looking at Steve. I don't like that. But, basically, he's like, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time." He, like, turns around and he talks to the two guys. He's like, "If they try to leave, stop them. I'm gonna go get the headmaster." And he, like, starts walking. And the two guys
Okay,
are
we're
like,
just going to start walking towards where we came from still.
okay, so the two guys, like, start chanting a little bit. You're just gonna walk out the front door?
Yeah.
Who's the first person going out the door?
Me. We'll just say me.
Okay, so when you go to touch the door, sorry, I'm looking at something. I want you to make. Oh, so once you touch the door, your hand gets stuck on it. So it's just like, and you can make a save to try and get it off. So it would be you can either be a dexterity, like acrobatics, or a strength athletics check.
They're both the same, so.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1, so I'm re-rolling. 16.
16. So you get your hand off the door really quick, but it's like it's obvious to you that if you touch this door, it's just gonna like get stuck to you.
Can I just roll? I don't know. intimidation on these guys?
Sure.
16.
16. I rolled a 2, so they are sufficient. How are you intimidating them?
I'm just gonna say, you guys really don't want to mess with us right now.
Okay. You say that, and the two guys are like, "Hey, They're like, we're not going to get in your way, but the doors aren't going to open for you." And they like,
So how else can we get out of here?
they're like, "You could go back into the sewers." And then, what's his name? Nate looks into one of the rooms. He's like, "I bet they have some of that chalk I need in there. I could get the chalk, make the stuff, get out of here."
Okay. Let's all go back down to the sewer, except for you, Jeanette. Jeanette, you're gonna disguise yourself, and you're gonna go get that chalk.
Jeanette? Okay, so Jeanette disguises
just in case he comes back with the headmaster before we can leave.
Okay, so I'm going to say you guys go down into that one room. You can play as Jeanette right now. I'm going to have you roll investigation to find this chalk.
I rolled a natural 20.
Natural
21.
20? Okay, so
I'm rolling so good today.
I know. She literally changes herself, goes into another room. Look, she sees normal chalk, but then she finds like the magical chalk.
Because she's really good at sensing magical items.
And like literally there's like, since it's a natural 20, there's literally like a sketch on the wall talking about how there's different types of chalk for different types of spells, and then it has examples of each type of chalk pointing to what each of them are. And the one that you guys need that's worth 50 gold and needs the gemstone, this one actually already has the gemstones like put into it, is getting pointed at right on the board. And she's like, whoop, grabs it and goes.
Alright, perfect. So she comes down, and can we say that we close the doors behind us so they can't get in?
Yeah, so we'll say you can lock the doors again by saying that phrase once you shut the door at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
So you say that, and you know that the doors are sealed, basically.
Okay. So basically, they can't get to us now.
So May actually grabs the blue book that you guys have, and he opens it. He's like, "Now, I haven't done this spell in a long time, so it's going to take me about 20 minutes to just get it going."
Okay.
He's like, "If I had it memorized, it would be different, you know." Then he like starts going through it. But in that 20 minutes, natural
and I
one.
show him in the seeing stone where we're going.
What's up? Yes, you can
and I show him in the seeing stone.
Okay, so you give him the seer stone, you show him the teleportation circle and where it's at. And yeah, so basically, while he's doing this spell, he's chanting, he does the chalk lines, he's getting everything ready, it's starting to glow. You actually hear like pounding on the opposite end, like where you guys came in, like they're basically blowing up the walls to try and get in. It feels like the whole place is like shaking.
But they didn't know exactly where we went, right? Like,
I rolled for their. So basically, I rolled for. What am I saying? The roll says otherwise.
Okay.
But they're blowing that up. But don't. This is at the end of the 20 minutes as this starts happening, and he actually ends up activating the teleportation circle, and you guys are back in Helena.
Okay.
And so you have another friend with you.
Sweet, more people.
But May, yeah, he looks like a monster as well. And as he walks in, he's like, I want to go outside. And he like opens the door outside, and he's hunching because it's like a smaller building. And he opens the door, and the sun's like out and stuff, and he's like, but you can see your neighbors outside, like other halfling who live in this place, just see this guy, and he literally looks like a monster. So he's just like taking a breather, enjoying himself. He's holding the book, the what's it called? The Atlas book. And let's see how that goes. Yeah, he's just a scary dude outside for a little bit. But he ends up coming back in. He's like, thanks for getting me out of the study. Dang it, I'm going into the other voice. Thanks for getting me out of the study.
You're welcome. You want to see your old buddy pal?
He's like, sure. Do you think where do you think the skeleton guy would be chilling in the house?
I don't know. Probably in the basement. I feel like the basement is now like our headquarters.
Okay. He's chilling in the basement, and you go down there. There's the one guy who's warding. What's his name? Gimmel. Gimmel's warding a bunch of stuff, doing rituals. And then you just see what's his name? Harold. Harold's like, and when I was at the academy, we used to do all sorts of. And the door like opens, and he's like, ah. He's like, by the gods, you look terrible, old friend. And then he's like, the apprentice is like, he's like, I'm getting these voices mixed up. He's all, at least I have a body. And then they like start to laugh, and they like embrace each other, even though one of them's just bones and one of them's a monster guy. And they're just like laughing. But he's like, did you bring the atlas? He's like, and the guy's like, because he's still holding it from when he did the teleportation circle, he's like, he's like, May, this will be our key to traveling the world. He's like, you there, young girl. Thanks again for finding me, my atlas, and my apprentice.
You're welcome.
And then he's like, you haven't neglected your studying since I've been gone, have you? And he's like, May's all, the only thing I've been able to do for the past couple centuries is read books. And he's all, oh, that's unfortunate. At least I was stuck inside a sinkhole, man. Like, and they start just like reminiscing about who had a harder time being stuck in their place, you know?
Yeah.
But while they're like chatting down here, you actually spot the sprites from the very first episode chilling down here with Gimmel.
What are you guys doing down here?
They like fly over. They're like, we thought it was pretty cool that you guys buried a rock down here. So
You wanted to come see this rocks.
We heard you could get magic powers from the rock. And Gimmel's like, you can't get... He's like, we're not doing magic powers from the rock, bro. Basically, like, he's like scolding him, and he's like, if I stick around long enough, I'll get magic powers, I know.
You're a sprite. You already have magic powers.
It's like, not as magical as other magic people, okay? You guys got magical powers. You got more magical power. This guy's putting down spells. This guy's a walking skeleton. What can I do? I can fly. That's about it.
You can fly.
Well,
That's
I can charm people too, but still.
Do you want to talk about our little agreement? Because I will mess you guys up.
You owe us a favor. And maybe that favor could be you giving us powers from this stone here.
How do I owe you a favor?
What?
How do I owe you a favor?
Remember, we gave you the seer stone. You owe us a favor.
You gave me the seer stone so that I could keep tabs on you guys and make sure you weren't getting into shenanigans on your little adventure that I allowed you to go on.
But you weren't going to let us go unless we gave you the stone. And then we gave you that scroll, which you broke.
I don't owe you anything.
Well, it was worth a try. And he flies around and he's like chilling by Gimel. But yeah, there's like this weird group of guys in your basement, just like chilling.
You sprites better keep your mouths shut about this stone. You understand?
And you hear in the background, they're like, "Well, we're not going to talk about the stone. Everybody already knows about the stone, but you can, like, everybody already knows." But
How do they know?
We don't talk about anything. I mean, first off, when you guys brought it to town, there was a giant stone, and then you dug a hole all day. Like, we saw it. Okay?
Alright, fair enough.
But yeah. Don't worry, I don't think anybody thinks it's just, like, not. I'll keep it on the download, it gives you powers. Okay? But I'm just going to chill down here. And then Gimel's like, I'm warding it so you can't get powers. Like, he's like kind of getting impatient with him. He's like, you literally won't get powers as long as I'm here. He's like, I'll get powers. You'll see. And then,
You're gonna have to leave because you're kind of getting in the way.
he's like, if I leave, old Scully Bones here has to leave.
Scully Bones doesn't have to go anywhere. He's welcome.
What? I'm not welcome in this place? I thought we were friends. I gave you the Seed Stone.
We're friends, but you were not invited into my home.
Fair enough. He like floats around the dark stone.
I'm all worried about this guy now.
He like laps it a couple times, and he flies like up the staircase. He's like, I know that thing's gonna give me powers. I know it. And then Jeanette's there, and she's like, I don't know how they figured that out. She's like, I don't know if they actually know that or if they're just saying that type of a thing. And then
Or if it's just like rumor.
Selene's like kind of sitting in the corner. She's like, I might have told him that it gives you powers.
Selene!
She's like, I didn't know they were going to try and get powers from it. I was telling him to stay away.
Naive little Selene.
She's like, I don't know better. But
Sprites
yeah,
are always trying to get into all sorts of shenanigans. You can't tell them stuff like that.
She's like, I don't know. I was raised by a mole man. But yeah, next your mom's basically like, hey, do you want to deliver one of those books to
Your gnome friend? The scribe?
Yeah. She's like, yeah, bring it. If you bring it to this gnome guy, he'll make it so that you basically you can sign your name in this book. He can talk to you from anywhere as long as you're, on the material plane. And then if you die, your body gets just shot over to where he's at, rather than like, I don't want you to die. She just kind of like jumps straight to there. She's like, so I'd like you to go talk. Like, you should go tell him.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, Harold.
Yes.
What do these books do exactly?
This book here. Let me look at it. It's been so long. Still can't.
This sparkly one is intriguing me because I'm a sparkly person.
So, I'll tell you what they do. The sparking one, yes, it's a special book. So the Sparky book, basically, when, like, if you're an experienced spellcaster and you use it, and you get hit by some other type of, like, an evocation spell, you can use the book's power to shoot damage back at the person who shot it at you. It's honestly, it's not the best. It's a great, like, it's cool, but it's not the best. He's like, this book here, this one, the one with the hand and the purple fire. This is the book for you. He's like, first off, this wards the whole place from demons. Demons can't get you, okay? He's like, and depending on whoever actually picks it up and uses it, it has random effects that will happen. So for me, basically, if something tried to fight me or tried to hurt me, I was more impervious to like fire damage and things like that. I was able to cast the spells that I cast normally without using the spell slot or being drained of my power. Yes, but the one that I want is this Atlas. And he opens the blue one. He's like, when you get hit by attacks and things, you can use it to teleport away. Yes. But also it has tons of teleportation spells in there that I put in there. And that's what I was going to use to like go and research and go through the whole world. Holding these books, like, you get the sense that you can use them as like a spell focus if you wanted to, just because they have magic in them. But like reading them and using like the like writing inside, it just like it doesn't work for you because it's like a wizard thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So basically, you can like try and read it and use it, but it's just weird. But you can use them as spell focuses, basically.
Okay.
Boom, boom. He's like, I do admit the sparks coming off of this one match your aesthetic. He's like, you'd think I'd want this one with the bone on it. He like chuckles to himself.
That one does match your aesthetic. Okay, so we will take the Scribe this Sparky book.
Okay. So this guy lives in another. He actually lives. Oh gosh, what's this place called? He lives in a place called the Labyrinth, but it's not a labyrinth. Does that make sense?
I was about to get so mad.
Yeah. It's a labyrinth that isn't a labyrinth. It's just the name of the building. But your mom can teleport you there as well.
Okay.
She teleports you to the labyrinth, and it literally is like a hole in the ground. Like, and I don't mean like a hole in the ground. It's like just a door, like looking like a cave, or it's like a cave entrance. Once you go down, there's a door, and once you go in, there's like an actual like nice establishment. Not establishment.
Okay.
It's more of a. It's basically a hermit's hiding spot, and he's named it the labyrinth.
Gotcha.
But when you go in there, you actually see a gnome, and he is just a little bit shorter than all of you and your friends. He has like red robes and jackets on, and his eyes are completely black. And he has like a purple symbol inscribed on his forehead. He's like, oh. How do I do little people voices?
What are you doing here?
Are you the scribe?
He's like, I am a scribe. So,
I have a trade to offer you.
he's like, oh? What kind of trade?
I heard you have a little book
Mm-hmm.
that will teleport me to you if I die.
He's like, yes, I have a very limited amount of names I can keep on this book.
So, I have this magical book I'm willing to trade to you for a spot in that book.
He's like, oh?
You see, it piques his interest.
He's like, let me see it.
It puts his arms up.
I pull it out.
And it's got like
but
this.
I don't hand it to him.
Okay. You don't hand it to him?
No, I just pull it out.
He like sees the sparks and stuff coming off. He's like, ooh.
He's like, that looks dangerous.
It's not. Doesn't hurt.
Oh?
It just contains a lot of magic. So.
He's like, you know this for sure.
I know it for sure. It's a legendary book, highly sought after, extraordinarily rare.
You think so? He's like, ooh. He's like, where did you learn this? Who told you that?
I learned this at the academy.
The academy?
Mm-hmm.
They told you this book, what they didn't want it?
Oh, they wanted it. I took it.
No way. He's like, okay, what, you want a place in my book?
Yes. In exchange for this.
He's all, book.
And like he's yelling for his book, and you see a book pop up and like float over to him.
And he's like, book open to the page where I can talk to them.
And the book flips open. And he like sits there and he looks at you.
He's like,
he puts his hand up and a quill appears into it. And he hands you the quill.
It's like, put your name here.
Okay. So I go and sign it. And then I hand him the book.
It's like, he like grabs the book and he puts it under his arm. He's like, okay, now book, go to the other place to the other spot in the book. And the book flips again. He's like, okay, that's the one you signed to make it so you teleport here when you die.
Okay. So I sign. So the other one is just the one where he can talk to me.
Yeah.
And then this one is the one where I teleport. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you actually see a couple of other names in the book. So there's like 4 other names in this book.
Okay.
And then there's yours now.
He's like,
do I recognize any of the other names?
Let me see. Go ahead and give me, I guess, not a history. What do I want to call this? Give me, oh goodness. I gotta look at my page here. The page messed. Okay. Boom. Give me a. Is it even on this page? I think I'm losing my mind. Boop, boop. Okay.
I'm calling it the Resurrection book.
So, one of them's name, the name at the top is Roland Brimkettle. Roland Brimkettle.
Brimkettle?
Brimkettle. Or
He's a
Bramkettle.
halfling for sure.
You think so?
I have no idea.
Next one is Jory. Oh goodness. Jory Cloudbrush.
Okay.
The next one is. His name is Ezra Brand.
Ezra Brand.
And then the last one's name is Lolly Volo.
Nalivolo. Okay.
So those were the 4 names that were in there. Was that 4 names?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yes. Boom, boom.
Okay.
But after talking to this guy, he's basically like, yeah, if I ever think I might have to change your name out, I did have 1 space now, but if I ever think I have to change your name out, I will contact you. But these are very competitive places. And by that I mean if somebody offers me a ton of money, I'll probably try and kick someone off to get the money, unless they pay me more money. But we should be good for a while. We're the last one on the list.
Okay.
Or the newest name, rather. That being done, you see him like scrambling through the new book, and it's funny because this other book shuts after you have like signed your name in it, and you see a face start to appear out of the book. It's not like inside the book; it's like a ghost face comes out of the book, and he's like looking out of the book at this guy scrolling through this other book, and he kind of looks jealous. He's like, "Am I not good enough?"
Oh, that he's looking at another book.
Yeah. So he's like, "Calm down, book. Calm down. What? It's just I love books. I love all books." You know, and they start kind of talking.
Is this Ella Enchanted?
What's up? The book that he
I said,
has?
is this Ella Enchanted?
Oh yeah, all right. No, this book's better than the Enchanted book. Okay, you can put your name in it and not die.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah. So yeah, the book ends up laying down after a little bit, but you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Did you bring anybody with you?
No.
It's just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I figured there would be very limited space in this book.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sucks because, like, now if I die, I'm gonna get transported to him, and, like, what if I'm, like, in the middle of battle with my companions?
Mm-hmm.
I just leave them there?
Yeah. I mean, it's good, what's the word? Like, it's a good contingency, but also, like, it's that, what's the word I'm looking for? I figured you'd bring people and you'd decide which one you wanted on there, but I didn't know. I never do, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I felt kind of pressured to be the one that was in it because of my
Yeah.
mom, but
She was kind of like, but like, she's taking extra precautions with you, type of a thing.
yeah. Because if I were to choose any of them, I would probably put Tulane on it because she has the lowest AC and the lowest hit points.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny how that works out too, because she's like the young. In my eyes, she's like the youngest one there.
yeah.
Mm.
I think Jeanette is the oldest.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, out of the four of us.
Yeah. No, I definitely think your aunt is the oldest,
Well, yeah.
and then your mom, and then Jeanette or whatever. If we're
Jeanette.
doing that, but just out of the four girls that you're controlling, Jeanette's definitely like older. She's been like, I like how when you met her, she was like more like experienced in the game or whatever. Like she was already doing stuff.
Yeah.
All
right. So I think that I'll just go home.
Okay. So if you talk to this the scribe guy, he actually can teleport you home.
Okay.
And you teleport home. Is there anything else you want to do? I feel like I wrote like a lot of encounters, but we just like went around them.
I'm really good at doing that.
Yeah. Well, you rolled like 3 natural 20s to do it, so.
I don't know how I did that. I never roll natural 20s, but apparently it was overdue for some.
Uh-huh. It was all the good karma.
And I only rolled 1 natural 1 this time, so.
Nice.
But I get to re-roll those, so.
Mm-hmm. And that's easy. Boom, boom.
Okay. So. Yeah.
Should we call it there? Do you want to do anything else before we stop?
So, like, with this other book, that he says it has, like, different effects on people who use it, so, like, I can't technically use it, right?
Yeah, so basically you can get, like, magical protections from it, but you can't use it in the fact that you're using the spells that are in it. Or use it like that. Some of the extra effects you probably couldn't use either, but really you can't even, like, you could use it as a spell focus, but you can't attune to it. If we're talking, like,
Okay.
What's it called, rules-wise.
Yeah.
But you do have 2 wizards at the house now. So.
Don't I have 3 wizards at the house?
Oh, so the guy warding stuff is a cleric.
Oh.
So he's doing, like, spiritual stuff to the rocks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But the other 2 guys are... These other 2 are wizards.
Would they be able to use it on me?
What do you mean?
Like, so I can get spiritual protections from it, but, like, aren't there other things you can get from it? Would they be able to give me those things from it?
They might be able to, but we'd have to, like, roll and see what they are. So if you want to, I can check on them now, actually. Just because we have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
I know, I went through that really fast.
Yeah, we did.
I was like, I'm not fighting all of these people in this college right now.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that they wanted to fight necessarily, too. Like, because I was just like, you guys can be stuck or whatever. I honestly thought you would kill the apprentice guy. May. I really did, but yeah.
I feel like you should know by now my tendencies aren't usually violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my character is like a very aggressive person, but she's not super violent.
Yeah.
Like, she's not gonna like kill everything she sees.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since we were warned that his apprentice would be down there.
That's true.
I was kind of like prepared to see something down there.
Yeah. He's got some.
But
I think it's funny the parallels between those two characters too. We both were stuck one place for a long time and transformed into something.
yeah.
Like it's like apprentice, like, you know. Okay, let's see how this works. Let's just do this next time. This is going to take me a long time to find it.
Okay. That's fine.
But yeah, we'll figure out what properties you can benefit from these books, if any, and then we will do, I guess, some more downtime stuff before your next adventure. So keep those in mind. I'm sure you'll probably just work again, but
You know what I want to do?
what?
I want to go back to the college.
Okay.
Not this time, but next time. And try to sell them the book.
You want to sell? Oh, okay. Sell it back. Which one?
The purple one.
That makes sense. Okay.
The only one I have left.
That's true. That would.
It would be kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be funny. You just come back, hey, I found this book and I want to sell. You took that book the other week. Okay.
I don't know who any of you people are. I just found this in a cave.
All right, I'm going to. Okay, we can end it there. Thanks for watching. We do our lives every Tuesday on TikTok at 7:30, whatever time we are here, Mountain Standard Time. And then I normally post those on Monday the next week. Sometimes it gets delayed. It almost got delayed this week, but I actually made it up. But yeah, we will see you next time. Have a good one. Boom, boom.
Bye.
Bye.